Hello and welcome to a Sophisticated Pairs video blog. My name is Erica and today we're going to be doing another product review, this time of the Freya Ellie bra, which is brand new and is a perfect way to usher spring and summer into your lingerie wardrobe. The first thing I want to talk about is sizing. Ordinarily in Freya, I wear a size 30H, which is exactly what I have on today, so I found that to be fairly true to size. The band is nice and snug but comfortable. I don't have any gaping or overflow at the cups. I will say though that I do think the cups run a little generous. Sometimes I might bend over and I get like a teensy-weensy bit of gaping up top here where I don't feel like I could have stepped down to the double G cup, but I also don't feel that this is quite as snug in the cup as I would normally find on a Freya 30H. I love the fit of this bra. My favorite thing is actually how the cups are a little bit lower on the sides, as are the wings, so I feel like I have a lot of movement here without any kind of pinching or chafing. Some of my bras, like the Curvy Kate Emily, come up a little high here, and while they're okay, it's nice to have a change of pace, and this is what the Freya Ellie gives me. I also really like the cup shape. I feel like I get a lot of lift and support, and it contours very well to my shape. The material is a little bit more rigid, so I really feel like I'm getting a lot of that lift and shaping from the bottom, which is a nice touch. Also, I like the neckline of the bra. A lot of times with a balcony, it is cut very straight across and it's very full coverage. This to me is almost more like a plunge in that we have this V-neck shape here, and it's a really nice change of pace for me since most of my bras really are kind of full coverage all the way across. And it's nice to see an option for someone in a fuller cupped range that does have a more open neckline. So I really like the fit of this bra. Moving on to the materials of the bra. I actually really like what they've chosen. Now in the full cup version of the bra, which is for women who wear a double G cup or higher, they use a little bit more of an industrial material because they really need to give you that extra bit of shaping and support. But for women who are in the G cup and under, the fabric on the cups is actually very, very soft, kind of silky. It's a really nice fabric. I wish that for the fuller cupped women they could have implemented something similar. However, I really feel that because this fabric is a little stiffer, it definitely gives you more of lift from the bottom. I also like the lace. It's nice high quality. The little bows are always a nice touch. I also like how they use the fully adjustable straps. Sometimes Freya won't do that, and I really feel like on those styles it's a little bit more limiting. The wings are your standard power net, so you get a lot of good anchorage and support. They also have a little bit of a stay here on the sides to just add to that side support and anchorage. Overall, really excellent materials, again from Freya. Now for the design. The whole reason that I picked this bra was because I fell in love with the print. It's a floral print, which is a little bit different for me. I'm usually not a big fan, and sometimes I feel like floral prints can be a little bit too 70s for me. But this one I think is very sophisticated, and I love the color palette. I think that the cream background with sort of the burgundy and then the lime accents is just very unusual, very different for lingerie, but still very beautiful. It really does scream kind of spring and summer in the best way possible. And I think that this little edging at the top is really cute as well. And as I mentioned in fit, I like how they designed this bra to be a little bit more of an open neckline. That is just so nice. I can't tell you how nice for a woman like me who's usually stuck in the balcony cups. And I've seen it on women who wear the G cups and under, and for them it actually more is like a true plunge. It even creates cleavage in the middle, so it's a very unique kind of design. I will say that this is my first experience with Freya where they do a 3-section balcony that has all fabric. Usually when I get one of their balcony bras, the top section here is made of complete lace. And I have to say, comparison-wise, I'm really liking this one better. I feel like I get a lot more control and lift from this one than I would from something like the Faye, which has that lace upper section. However, there are a couple of caveats with this style that I'm not crazy about. First off, the seams on this one aren't quite as discreet as, say, my Freya Faye. So while the Faye I can wear under, t-shirts, this one I feel like I have to be a little bit more careful. This isn't to say that I don't get my wear out of it or that it's still not pretty and visible, but when I compare it to something like the Faye, I don't get quite as much versatility out of it. The other thing that I've noticed about this bra, and it's not necessarily something I don't like, but it is something that many women might not appreciate, the silhouette of the bra itself is a little pointier than usual. It kind of reminds me a bit of Joan from Mad Men. It's not quite full-on Madonna, but it does have a little bit more of that conical shape than some of the other styles. There's not as much rounding at the cup. So you need to keep that in mind if you're considering this style, because it's not like you're going to look like you have the 50s boobs, but it is a little bit different than your normal silhouette. However, I've kind of grown to like it. I think it's different. It's nice to have different styles in your lingerie drawer, and I feel like this one is very unique for me. I love everything about it. I've actually had it now for, I want to say about a month and a half, so I've given it a really good wear, and thus far I really like it. It's one of my favorites, particularly because I do like this open neckline, and I also like the freedom of movement I get on the side of my body. And again, I really do feel like I get a lot of lift and hold from that. Some days when I'm working in the store, I have to do a lot of moving. With this bra, I feel like I am in total control. Very, very comfortable. Overall, I personally would give it an A, but thinking about some of, women who may not like that conical shape, I'd maybe drop it down to like a B+, in case you're not as crazy about the overall silhouette. Well, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to email sophisticatedpair@gmail.com, and don't forget to check out our blog, Facebook page, and Twitter for all the latest news and event information. Thank you.